Hello, everybody. We are back.
Sorry, I took a sip of water just as you went live. That was terrible timing.
Take care of yourself, Jason. a little
Just
too
for a minute.
rambunctious. Oh yeah, a little too high energy going into the stream
Okay,
there.
I think I'm good. Hey, Spark.
Oh man. Yeah. So we're here. We're doing it. We're back after a little bit of a hiatus. How's it going,
What's it
Jason?
been?
It's been
Yeah,
a month, probably. Did we miss Did we skip one stream or was it 2 streams?
the last stream was like the 12th, I think. So
Okay, so we skipped like one
stream, and a couple of coding streams and stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, I had some time off. The weather's been actually kind of how I like it. Like not raining every day, but pretty cold and crisp. For a British winter, that's pretty optimal, I would say.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of snow here. Not a lot that's like collected on the ground or anything like that, but you know, it's been cold. It's been a little drizzly. It's been all right. It's a New England winter. That's just what it is. So
Any power cuts?
No, thankfully not. Well, okay, correction. There was apparently, and my uninterruptible power supply alarmed me at 3 a.m. I'm like, I should really shut that off at night when I'm not using it, probably, because it was so loud. It just went beep. I'm like, oh god, no. Like, why? I thought I turned it off too. Like, I thought I turned off the alarm and all that kind of thing, but apparently it got reset or it did something. I don't know, but it definitely let me know that we had a power cut. So I'm like, all right, I guess you're doing your job.
At least it works. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I have yet to do like a real test of it, which is like having a full power outage instead of just like a quick power cut kind of thing, like a brownout, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I guess I could just like go over to the power breaker and just flip a switch or something and like actually kill all the power going to it, but haven't done that yet, so I trust that it works. It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Probably, I hope. But yeah, so yeah, it's good to be back. We're getting back into the swing of things. We had some, I would say, relatively light patches, but there's some stuff going on in the back end there, as we'll talk about in a second. That hopefully, if we did everything correctly, it'll be as if nothing happened. Flash might be slightly faster.
The best thing to put on the patch notes, right? Like something which has no visible effect to any players, but you know.
I mean, it makes us feel good.
I've been working over Christmas. Like I felt I had to put something in there to represent that toil behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean it's with any kind of like a lot of jobs, which is like if you're doing everything correctly, people will think you're doing nothing. So I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, so I guess we can talk about the patch stuff right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
So as you can see with this lovely graphic that Jason has created behind us, if I like move my head, there we go. So we've got 0418 here, codename Dawn, and just a couple of things this patch here. We now have available to you all winter and regular versions, both of our battlefields here, so you can select them as you will. So Jason did some fine work getting all those beautiful snowflakes into those 2 zones there, and
I wasn't gonna can that after the holidays. That was too much work. Like that's staying in there.
It's not gonna hurt anything, you know. It's like seasonal, but I don't know. Maybe it could be some kind of nasty ashes coming from our steampunk industrial city at some point. Just make it a little bit more gray, and there you go. But
good plan, yeah.
I mean, we should totally use that at some point somewhere else. That would be fun. But yeah,
raining ash, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Some very dramatic backdrop. So But yeah, so now those can be selected in the Battlefield Select zone there. And there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on. Some preparation for offline play, single player, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and yeah, making our online battles a little bit quicker. Jason, do you want to talk a little bit about kind of what you've been poking around in the inner
Yeah.
workings?
So as I said, I kind of loathe to put this kind of thing on the patch notes because we're always working on stuff in the background, but this was kind of a major deal and a big kind of reorganization of stuff behind the scenes. So behind the scenes, Steamhounds has been running on Google Cloud platform, and whenever a battle runs, like all of the gameplay in a battle kind of happens on that server, right? So it's the server that decides if a move is legal and like actually does all the gameplay logic and resolves all the stances and status effects and all of that stuff. Like none of that happens on the game client. That's all done on the server, which is fine because we were primarily focusing on like the multiplayer mode for this game. But ultimately, we do want there to be a single player, and we're doing a whole load of stuff also behind the scenes related to the single player campaign, which means we need to be able to run a battle like without deferring to the server for everything. So that was actually a pretty major rework there, and it also allows us to make some kind of architectural changes even on the server side to make things like way more responsive. So right now, sometimes you'll do an ability, you might notice it might take half a second, or in the worst case, like even a second or two for that to go through. And we're looking to just get rid of that. So it will basically just be whatever your ping is, right? So more like a tenth of a second or something like that. So it will feel more or less instantaneous. So you won't quite see all of the fruit of that labor yet, but in upcoming patches in the new year, we should start to see some of the benefit of that, even for like regular multiplayer stuff, even before the single player mode is out there and playable to you all.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to snappier battles, all that good stuff. That was something that some people had been noticing on occasion, like for a while. I wasn't sure if it was something to do with like the animations or anything like that in terms of like looping around. But if it's all server side stuff, and Jason, you fixed that, well, improved that.
I've prepared to fix that. I've laid the groundwork. This is how like software engineering works. Unfortunately, a whole load of work, and then everything's broken for about a week, and then finally got it to work around Christmas time, and I was pretty pleased with all of that. So it seems to be pretty solid now. Also, another reason I put this in the patch notes is it's to kind of excuse myself if there are any weird bugs. That might happen still. Whenever you make those big changes, it's always possible that you get some subtle or obscure bugs. So we should be extra vigilant looking for those the next couple of patches.
Yeah, so definitely let us know if you see anything odd. Not that we're expecting anything crazy, but if you do see something, be sure to let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just about everything for this patch. Short and sweet and simple, and as always, we're probably just gonna chill a little bit before we get into these battles. So.
So, is there anything we can say about patches coming after this and our plans for the new year? Like, what should we say? We haven't discussed and planned this ahead of time, so.
I mean,
on the spot there.
Okay, so like full disclosure, like we have talked about like the patch stuff between ourselves. So there is definitely stuff planned coming up. Jason, if you want to get that doc open, I think we could like just tell people like what we're working on. Basically, we did some brainstorming, picked some stuff from a long list of features that eventually need to be in here.
Yep. So I think the next thing you'll see probably 2 weeks from now is a new battle theme. So Paul's been working on some awesome new music. That's been ready for a little minute, and we're going to drop it in as, I believe, the third battle theme now.
I believe so. Yeah. Is the second battle theme in the game yet? Right now, are there 2 battle themes in the game, or?
Yeah, so there was one from way back when, and
Yeah.
then I believe we switched in a second, quite a long time ago now.
Hmm.
I think this will be the third one in the main rotation.
So now it'll randomly select from those 3 when going into a battle, correct?
Yeah, yeah. In the future, maybe that'll be based on the stage you're at or the
Oh, that's
characters
true.
you've chosen or something like that. But for now, they'll just be on a rotation, I think.
Okay, cool. What else have we got? I know we planned quite a few more things after that as well.
Yeah, so probably some more terrain objects and obstacles and stuff like that. So we've had so much fun with everything that we've added, and they've all worked out pretty well, to be honest. Like everything we've added in terms of terrain objects has just made things more interesting. So I guess we're going to see if we can keep pushing that, and it gives folks new stuff to play with when we do these playtesting sessions as well, right? When there's a
Yeah.
new terrain object, that's immediately like new disrupt strategies and gives people something to figure out.
Yeah, plus it's fun to design those as well, so we really enjoy doing those.
Yeah, they're probably the biggest bang for your buck in terms of impact, right? Because some of them are really, really simple to implement if it's like a passive buff or something like that. I mean, we have to put some kind of sprite or prop in there or something, but
Yep.
compared to adding like a character or a stage, it's way easier to do these. It's just figuring out the design niche, I guess. So yeah, what are your thoughts on what have we got covered well in terms of terrain objects? What are some other niches we might possibly explore with these? Do you have any inclinations there?
Well, we talked about some other stuff during that meeting as well, in terms of like being able to move onto tiles in order to trigger something, basically that has to do with terrain, essentially. I'm kind of looking forward to those as well, because it makes it feel like the battlefield is like interactable, basically. Because some of these the terrain objects we have right now are basically they spawn in and they stay there, or they spawn in and they move on their own accord. Essentially, they have their own kind of logic, and it's interesting to me, at least, terrain objects that can be influenced by players' actions. It just makes it feel more interactive, as opposed to like the player not just adapting to the battlefield, but also interacting with it and like kind of like collaborating that and integrating that into their strategy.
Yeah. So it's like not like a trap where you stand on it and it activates, but it's more like you will activate something which will do something somewhere else on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things can come to mind with that. Like, you know, there's your big like traps kind of thing. You pull this lever, something will fall down on your opponent's side in like a certain area or whatever. So, you know, catch them off guard if they, you know, you want to force them into that zone, and then it'll eventually do that. You're kind of like you're kind of like battle bots esque kind of traps and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that stuff can be really, really fun, and I wouldn't mind seeing some of those types of things, like switches and triggers and traps and levers and what have you. There's other things that there's some really wild stuff that we could potentially do at some point, but and stuff that I haven't talked to you about, Jason, yet. But
okay. Oh, you've got your own secret plans, have you?
oh no, it just came up to me in the last 30 seconds. So
Hey, I see Malieve and Yuta in the chat there.
Hey everybody.
Snow patch. Is that a terrain object suggestion from Malieve?
Yeah, we could have like
snow.
You have a speed down snow patch, or disadvantage to melee attacks or something like that.
Yeah,
Reduce
what would it do? That's the question. Like we had before something called rough footing. Oh, okay. So this is the patch with the snow. Okay.
See, no matter what you say, it spawns new ideas. So.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking, what would like an ice patch do?
I mean, I have some ideas for that. If they get pulled into it or forced into it, they keep on moving in the direction that they came from.
Yeah, it feels like you have to slide over it, right? Like, it has to do
Yeah, totally.
some kind of movement stuff. But movement doesn't quite work like that in our game, so there'd be
Yeah, that's true. It would be different if you could only move like one, like one space per like round, basically. But since you can move anywhere on the grid on your side, then it's it's not quite the same. So we would have to figure out something a little bit more interesting than that.
yeah. Oh yeah, I see. This is the latest Twitch controversy. They've removed
Oh yeah.
the popular PogChamp emote. So I guess it's been replaced though. I didn't realize.
Yeah, there's like a temporary thing where or at least people think it's temporary, but they're like every 24 hours the emote changes basically into a bunch of
Oh,
people
okay.
making the pog face. So they're like everybody's switching stuff. Yeah, it's a daily rotation kind of thing, which is interesting. I think it would be really cool if they could get like lesser known streamers into that emote basically to like switch things around and do all that sort of thing. To kind of like promote other people. But yeah, no, I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
I guess
So.
maybe they're hoping that one of them sticks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I think it's cool to like the face is pretty much like well recognized, no matter who's
Yeah, I
making that
guess
face at this
don't take
point.
it out, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's kind of like you would be able to figure out what that emote is supposed to be, no matter who's doing it. I think there was an issue on the first day of the switching out of that emote where like the emote itself was really like it had like it didn't have just someone's head, it had like part of their like body too. And it was just like, well, this is your first one, like like hopefully they would edit it in a way that actually like looks good. But I think now they're like, especially that one, like the one that just got posted, like that one is very much, yep, that's a pog face. So but anyway, but then also the thing is like so many people's individual streams have their own like pog emote basically, or
Okay,
hype or
okay. Do
whatever.
people do that? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, everybody has, a lot of people have their own anyway. So I wonder if it could be a cool thing where you could just like register your pog emote and then it gets shoved into the rotation somewhere. I don't know. There's a lot of ideas around there, but some of that stuff requires moderation, I guess, so to speak, which is probably not something that Twitch is interested in, unless they made it like a big program and kind of flaunted it as like marketing for smaller streamers and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so. But yeah, what else? Do we have any other content patch stuff?
The other thing on the horizon for patches is some kind of post-battle stat screen. Like, I probably should be committing to that now, but that's something we're thinking about. So if anyone has any thoughts on what you'd like to see on that, that would be kind of interesting to get people's input. Like, the obvious ones are like, I guess, damage done, like healing done.
Yeah,
I don't know. What else would you like to know post-battle?
Yeah, there's so many cool things. Like, it could probably take a lot of kind of like influence from
Moves made, yeah, that's a good one. Something about movement. The game's all about movement, right? So
that's
that
true.
should be on there, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if oh man, I wonder if there would be an easy way to like, because every character has. Well, no, I was gonna say like I love the infographics that we have of like which moves, like what skills and stances characters have chosen and like the percentage of those like throughout the battle essentially. But it would be interesting how you would grid that out, unless you had like a widget for each character and then
you just suggest an actually like focus versus non-focus. I feel like in one battle that would maybe be more interesting. I don't know. In one battle, how many moves do you even do? Like, there aren't that many turns in a typical battle, so I guess showing stats from one battle, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe breaking it down by ability, maybe not, but on like for your account or something like that, or for all your uses of a character in online play or something.
That's true.
That's a whole other thing, which will ultimately come about as well. I think, like long term, like career stats.
Yep. I think a cool thing to visualize is like have like a chart that's like who got knocked out first and who got knocked out last, like just going down like a not a blow by blow, but like
Oh, you could have like a line graph of the amount of health on each team or something, so you could kind of see.
Thinking about like I don't know if you ever played like Age of Empires 2 or something like that, but the post battle stats for that were always fascinating because they just had like way too many graphs that you could look at.
Yeah.
For that, it was, and I believe like Warcraft 3 also had that as well, which was just like a bunch of graphs at the end with like actions and like quote important events and stuff like that. That stuff's always fun, and also might be actually kind of shareable on social media. Put my marketing hat on. Just like, because you could have like core events such as like character gets knocked out or character uses focus move or something like that, or someone takes like a big blow or something. You can kind of like map that to a total health graph kind of or something. Could be interesting. I'll have to like find like an image for what I'm talking about, but that could be fun.
Yeah. Definitely should pull together some references of. I mean, it's on our list, but we haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about this. But if people have references for games which do this really well, throw that in the feedback and suggestions channel.
Yeah, League of Legends has like a really detailed post-battle stats thing, which is pretty useful. But they're tracking like so many things that probably we wouldn't track. But yeah, there's a couple ways to do it, which is just like expose a whole hell of a lot of numbers, and the other way to do it is make something pretty that looks cool.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, that's definitely something that could be interesting and would be probably useful to some people as well. So,
yeah. Hype cam.
Yeah, we're looking into some camera work probably at some point. I don't know if we're gonna. That would be interesting. We would have to do a couple of things for a hype cam. So, when you mean hype cam, do you mean like fun, interesting, like show off kind of thing where everybody celebrates at the end? Are you thinking of a play of the game type thing? Because play of the game is probably would be hard to do. I mean, you say that, but we do want to start making things flashier, so that is something that we've talked about.
Yeah, I feel like end of battle like pose off is gonna happen.
With people sleeping on the ground and on one side. Oh man.
April Fool's update. Have we ever done an April Fool's thing?
I don't
think
think
we have.
so.
I threw a pumpkin in there for Halloween without telling anyone. That's about.
The cheeky pumpkin in the background, like barely visible too. You had to like really.
Emotes.
So
yeah, emotes is very much something that we've considered and probably also hope to do.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Because as we're making these character sprites, there are always one or two animations which don't get used, or there's like alternate version. Yeah, I think text chat is just too risky because of just moderation.
Yeah, we don't want to moderate.
Even with emotes, people find a way to be like passive aggressive and
and that's why there's always a squelch option for emote stuff. You could just mute the other person if they're emoting too much at you. So that's a lot easier to moderate.
Yeah, I think we will have some kind of taunt emote thing of some kind.
Oh, totally.
Because we have the extra animations for most characters.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many cool things which just don't quite work out for maybe functional reasons, but give everyone dabs. Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna need to get a some kind of character dabbing emote somewhere for Twitch at some point. We'll see. Whichever character has long enough arms.
Who's the dabbiest character? Yeah, I think it's the
I was gonna say the
the
Berserker,
new Ranger maybe.
Oh,
No.
that's true.
Actually, could be the chemist. Their arms are always free, right? They're not carrying anything.
Yeah, they also do a lot of stuff with their hands as well. So they're doing some jutsus or something, some Naruto stuff.
Yeah, we're serious about the taunts, but I'm not about the dabs. I would say.
No, probably not. Probably not. Stretch goal somewhere. But yeah, the taunts thing is stuff that we've been talking about at some point. I mean, it's different for our kind of stuff since none of the characters are like voice acted or anything like that. So it'll be a lot easier to kind of do little taunts, whether it's like small animations tied to like little text pop-ups or speech bubbles or what have you. We can do a couple of things.
Oh, hey, Works.
Yo, what's
Welcome.
up, Works?
Just in time. I think we're about to start.
Yeah, I think so.
Some battle soon. Yeah, do we want to get that queued up? If anyone wants to maybe throw something in the Discord channel, down. And we'll jump in when that's ready. First come, first served.
Yep.
Bang, Maliva's on it. There we go.
Big bang boom, let's go.
Oh, there was also some changes to the lobby, right? Do you want to maybe talk about
yeah.
your thoughts and plans around that?
My thoughts and plans. It's our thoughts and okay, so it's a little peek behind the curtain there. Once you guys are once people are in the battle, just let us know and I'll switch on over. But yeah, so I am kind of working on a lot of the UI changes for the game right now, and part of that has to do with well, a small part of that has to do with our multiplayer invite kind of system. And right now we have kind of like a voting system between like the two parties, like the host and the inviter kind of thing. But that's not really like super standards and stuff like that. Standard for like a lot of different games. Like there's voting systems for like games that have like more than two people. Because there's always like some kind of tiebreaker, but for us it's only 1v1 at this point, so that's kind of just how it is. But we're thinking about moving on over to a kind of like a host decides, like one person hosts like the lobby basically, and they get to choose like all of the options and stuff like that. And then the other person joins in, and then from there you can ready up and go basically. So obviously a lot of people are going to be, if you're going to be doing like a quote like custom match like that, so to speak, y'all are probably already going to be on Discord or, you know, or what have you, already talking. So it's not as much of an issue with like, because right now there's kind of like, oh, make sure both people like vote on the same thing if you want to do this and whatever. And sometimes that messes up and stuff. So just kind of bringing it over more towards like a host lobby kind of system.
Yeah, I wonder if there's still cases in like matchmaking or like casual match-made multiplayer where there's something like that would be useful. I guess in any kind of like ranked thing, you probably don't want modifier selection.
Yeah,
to be part of that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
maybe there's still a place for the voting in one game mode or another, but
sure.
I think you're right that just having the host set all that stuff up and then invite someone straight in with whatever settings they want does make sense.
Definitely. And of course also we want to make sure that everything's okay in terms of like the right people joining the battle in order to, you know, if you want to invite a certain person, you know, some people misclick or whatever, and then you have to like make a new lobby and all that kind of
crap, we're
so
fixing that issue as well, right? So you'll be able to like boot somebody out if the wrong person accepts
Kick
your
out. So yeah, there's just a little like quality of life kind of stuff that brings it in line to a lot of the features that some other games have in terms of multiplayer lobbies.
Yep. And I think we're also going to have a system where you don't have to click the link, like you could just type the code in as well.
Yep.
So maybe
Yeah.
the link will be an optional thing, but if that's convenient for people, otherwise we can just do it kind of via a code.
Yeah, kind of like your Among Us kind of stuff, which is just like, a few character code, as opposed to, having to launch that in like, Chrome or Internet Explorer, whatever you use. So
Internet Explorer?
you'd be surprised.
Andrew, come on.
You'd be surprised. I don't use it. I don't use it. I was just like, what do you want me to say? Netscape?
Netscape Navigator, yeah. AOL browser.
Opera. Oh, wow. What have we done?
See, this is what happens when you let people choose their modifiers.
All right, look closely.